Hello students, welcome back to your science class. So students, in the previous class we had completed with this chapter heredity and evolution. We have seen what is heredity, we have understood what is variation, why accumulation of variation is important. We have understood how Mendel contribute in the traits, he explained about the heredity, and he performed the experiment which include the monohybrid dihybrid cross. Today, we will start with the new chapter of chemistry, and that is periodic classification of elements. Talking about the periodic classification of elements, students, if we talk about if we talk about the element, how many elements are there which is still known to us, that can be the natural or synthetic. So, we will say that it is about 118 elements are known to us. And it's quite difficult for us to know or to memorize the property of each and every element. So there are lots of elements are present there, and which is having the different properties. So scientists, they are gathering the properties, and since it was quite difficult for us to understand the or to memorize all the property of each and every element, they were thinking to gather the elements in such a way that we are able to get more and more information of the elements of few groups of the elements. So they want to categorize them in such a way that with the help of the category, knowing the category will help us in giving a lot of information regarding the elements. Like what, student? You see, when you go to the general store, there is a lot of different sections are there. Even not only to the general store or anywhere where the grocery stores. So there you will find that there are different sections. There is a section of a soap. So you go if you want to take anything from that section, you go to there and the different kinds of soaps are there. Similarly, of the detergent or of a toothpaste or anything that you want to take it, oil, shampoo, conditioners. So these are what they are divided. They have categorizes them, and it will be quite easy for us to find out what will happen if all the things are simply merged everywhere. So it will be quite very difficult for us to go and find and go and search the kind of a soap or kind of a shampoo that we wanted. So now when it get categorized, it will be quite easy for us to identify it. Right. Similarly, the scientists, they also want to gather that kind of a property in which they can categorize the element into different category, different family, so that if we talk about that particular family, we can get more and more information regarding the property of that family. A lot of a different attempt has been made, student, in order to understand the property of the element, and the first one, it was explained by. So first of all, the attempt which is made by a German scientist, and that was Dobereiner. And Dobereiner, he explains about the how we can categorize it and the different atoms and different elements, and we can understand the masses and the properties also. So basically, this is called as a Dobereiner triads. Why is it so? Because Dobereiner, he has classified the elements into the increasing atomic mass, and while doing that, he always categorizes, he always take the three elements with the increasing atomic mass, and he said that's why it is called as triads, because he always choose the three elements only. So he grouped the three elements with the increasing atomic masses, and he said that the average atomic mass of the middle element will be equals to the or we can say that the first and the last element, their average atomic mass will be equals to the mass of the roughly equal to the mass of the middle element. This was explained by Dobereiner. Let me explain you again. So it was Dauberheinertriads. Dauberheiner's triads. So what does he explain? He classified the three elements or elements into different groups. Every time in each group, he only choose three elements. He has classified them. He has arranged them in the increasing atomic mass, and he said that the average atomic mass of the first and the last one will be roughly equal to the middle one. So he classified elements with the similar properties into groups, and in each groups have three elements. Each group have three elements. He arranged them in increasing atomic masses. And he said that the atomic mass of the middle element is roughly equals to the average atomic mass of the first and last element. So he classified the element with the similar property into group, and each group it is having the three elements, right? And every element, when he tried to find the atomic mass of the middle one, he find that this will be roughly equals to the average atomic mass. Let me explain you with the help of an example. So he has classified, suppose here he has taken lithium, sodium and potassium. So lithium, sodium and potassium, their masses are equals to, here it is 6.9, it is 23, and potassium is 39. So he said the average atomic mass of this first and this third will be equals to this one. Okay. Similarly, he had given a lot of other one. Let me tell you one more. Like in case of a chlorine, bromine and iodine. This we call as the halogen group also. So the atomic mass of a chlorine is 35.5. That of the bromine is 79.9 and iodine is 126. So he said the average atomic mass of the first and third will be equals to the second one. Now you see here students, there are a lot of drawback of a Dauberheimer triad. Here, first of all, this law is not applicable with all the elements. So obviously, with that particular reason, this triad, this is not accepted. This rule, this type of categorization of the elements is not accepted because it is not applicable with all the different elements. Okay, so this law was then discarded, and then a next law was given by Newton, which is known as Newton's law of octaves. It is Newton's law of octaves. So Newton, he also arranged the elements according to their increasing atomic masses, and then he started comparing any of the elements with its eighth element, and he found that the eighth element of that particular first element, the properties are equal. Okay, and it is because of that he said that it is an octave, it is the law of octaves. Okay, so he compared this law with the music of octaves, and that is why he called as a new law of octaves. Let me explain you with the help of the table that was provided by him. So he said, if this is hydrogen, then lithium, then beryllium, then boron, then carbon, nitrogen, and finally oxygen. Okay, then here also fluorine, then sodium, then magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, and sulfur, then chlorine. Just below to that, cobalt and nickel also was there, and bromine is there. Then potassium, copper and rubidium is here. Copper and rubidium. In this family, calcium, zinc and strontium is there. Calcium, zinc and strontium. And then chromium, yttrium, and cerium and lithium is there. Cesium and lanthanum. Then titanium, indium, zirconium, Zr. Here manganese, then iron, selenium. This is how he had categorized the elements. He explained that if suppose we will take here an example of a lithium. So he said that when you see, this is the lithium, this is the first place. Now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Eighth one is the sodium. So he said that the eighth element is what it shows the properties of the lithium. We can take another example. He said that if we take here beryllium. So beryllium is the one here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now the beryllium and magnesium, both of them will going to show the same kind of a property. This is the Newton's law of octaves. But again, this law is also discarded. There are a lot of drawbacks of this law, student. First drawback of law is there. This is not applicable with everyone, because at that time there was no such discovery of all the elements has taken place. It was only 56. But later on, when the lot of a different element has been discovered, this law automatically get discarded, because now this way of finding the property is not applicable with every element. So this is the first one by which it is discarded. So this law is applicable to calcium only. After discovery of other elements. This does not suits for all. It means it does not show the properties for all. Second one, students, what happened while the distributing the different elements, Newlands, he has kept some of the elements which is having totally different property into the same slot, while some of them which resembles the property with each other, they are far apart from each other. So distribution of the elements were not proper. Okay, because some of them whose property are totally different, they have been kept together. Some of them whose property are almost similar, they are kept far apart from each other. It is because of that only, students, this law is also discarded. Later on, a very important law is given, and that is Mendeleev periodic law. Actually, it's a kind of a periodic table which was explained by Mendeleev, and this is the Mendeleev periodic table. After the Newton's law of octave, student, a lot of scientists start working on it, but the most acceptable periodic table was that of Mendeleev, a Russian chemist, who have arranged the element in order of their increasing atomic mass, but always he kept in mind the similar chemical properties. Okay, so basically how he has done with this it's basically he concentrate that he have to arrange the element in such a way that it do not going to affect the chemical properties. At that time when he was working, his concentration was on the hydrogen and oxygen. He find that hydrogen and oxygen is what is very reactive, so obviously it will going to form the oxide or hydride with most of the element only. And at that time only 63 elements were discovered, but later on when the other elements discovered, most of them get fit into the Mendeleev periodic table. Because of that only it is the most acceptable periodic table, although yes, there are some of the drawbacks that we will going to discuss right now. So let us see the Mendeleev's periodic law or periodic law. Mendeleev's periodic law. Let us see what are the different points are there in his law, and then we will move to the benefits and the drawbacks also. So he basically selected hydrogen and oxygen hydrogen and oxygen as they are very reactive. They are very reactive. Okay, and use them as a basis of the classification of the basis basic for the classification of the elements. Classification of the elements. Classification of the elements. Then the second thing that he observed, he shorted the elements with their properties, with their properties, and pin the card on wall. So what does he observed with this student? He find out that the elements can be arranged easily with the similar properties. Elements can be arranged with the increasing atomic mass and there is recurrence of the chemical properties. So we can say here that basically he has arranged the elements in their increasing atomic mass in such a way that they keeps on repeating their properties, so it will be quite easy for us to understand their properties also. So this is the basis of the Mendeleev periodic table, student, Mendeleev periodic law. Here one more thing I just want to add to you people, that Mendeleev periodic table, it basically consisting of two things. One, the elements which is the Mendeleev periodic table is classified into groups and in groups and periods. Okay, so the vertical column, they are called as a group, while the horizontal column is called as a periods. Okay, so Mendeleev says that in his periodic table, student, it contains vertical column, called as groups, while it contains horizontal rows called as periods. Now see here, while explaining all these things, students, what he has done, somehow, somewhere he has, sometimes in some of the elements, he had kept it earlier than the other one in order to maintain the group, although they may, there is some variation in their variation in the atomic masses. So he has kept some of the atoms, some of the elements with the variable atomic masses in order to maintain the property, in order to maintain the groups with the similar property. What are the things that was very nice, and that was the merits of the Mendeleev periodic law, student? That is, the first thing that here Mendeleev, first of all, yes, he has arranged all the different elements according to their atomic masses, and ultimately the atomic masses does not vary also. Increasing atomic masses are having the similar properties. This was the first thing. And the second thing, for the elements which is not discovered, he left a gap for them, and he had given a name for the particular element. Means like he has used a Sanskrit name, that is Eka. In the Hindi, it means one. So he has given the name like Eka aluminium, then Eka boron, Eka silicon, and later on when the gallium, germanium, these all get discovered, it was found that the left which was kept there according to the property, they really resembles with the property. It means there is no disturbance in the periodic table. Not only this, students, afterward Mendeleev, when the noble gas discovery occurred, even for the noble gases, means there is, while keeping the noble gas in the Mendeleev periodic table, there is no such disturbance will occur with the other element. So with the help of which we can say that these are some of the merits by which the Mendeleev periodic table, Mendeleev periodic law has been accepted. So we can say here that he left some gaps for the elements which were not discovered, and given name to it, that is Eka, which means 1. Later on, when scandium, then gallium and germanium discovered, shows the similar properties by Eka aluminium. So he found that discovery of this similar property by Eka boron, Eka aluminium and Eka silicon So he has left the gap and he said that there will be some of the elements will be discovered in future will shows the property similarly to that, and that is why he has given the name. Later on, when the properties of the Eka aluminium is compared with the property of a gallium, it was found that they show exactly the same type of a property. So this prediction was correct, which was given by Mendeleev. Mendeleev also has explained about, he has also given a very good place for the noble gas. So when the noble gas discovered, there will be no such disturbance occurred in the periodic table, students. Okay, so place for noble gases also. So because of that only, even the other chemists who were working on the periodic table, they also have to accept that yes, the Mendeleev periodic table is quite good and it must be accepted. So you know that everything which is having a good effect, having a merit, they must have a demerit also. Similarly with that of the Mendeleev periodic table, it is also having some of the demerits, students. What are the demerits in case of the Mendeleev periodic table? First of all, position of the hydrogen is not explained. Position of the hydrogen is not given, it is not explained. See, hydrogen shows both of the properties, student. It shows the properties of the alkali metal as well as it shows the property of the halogen. Alkali, it means the lithium, sodium, potassium. These are the metals. The group is actually called as the alkali metals. So they shows the property of an alkali metal as well as it shows the property of the halogens also. But it has been not mentioned, means it is not the hydrogen is kept over the is kept on that of the alkali, and but we know that it shows the property of the halogen. So position of the hydrogen was not explained properly, as well as he does not explain the position of isotopes. See, here in case of the Mendeleev periodic table, the Mendeleev periodic table is according to the arrangement of the atom is according to the increasing atomic masses. Okay, so if we are talking about the mass, students, so we knew that the isotopes are what, which can be hydrogen, the deuterium also, tritium also. So these belongs to hydrogen only, but yes, they are having the different atomic masses. So what is the position of the isotope is not mentioned, not explained by Mendeleev. Okay, so it has been expressed in atomic masses, but the position of the isotope is not explained there, not mentioned there. So this is the Mendeleev periodic law, merit and demerit of the Mendeleev periodic table. Later on, after Mendeleev periodic law, another periodic table has been came, student, and that is modern periodic table. In case of the modern periodic table, the distribution of the electrons has been on the basis of their atomic number. So, increasing atomic number. So, elements arranged. Elements, they are arranged in the increasing atomic number, and then the modern periodic table came. Now, if it is according to the increasing atomic number, there is no chances of the isotope. So, the drawback will be removed here. And one more thing, that hydrogen place is not specified. Yes, it is not. And even in the modern periodic table, we used to keep it on the alkali metal, but never we consider it as an alkali metal because it shows the properties of both halogen and alkali, student. Okay, so we had kept it at the top of the periodic table since it shows both of the properties. In the next class, we will going to study that what are the different properties of the element, what are the trends are there, including the atomic size and the other atomic properties. Okay.